Corporation radio station. Stream us on your cell, laptop, desktop, or tablet at KFMA.com. You want it? You got it. Reality radio done right. No nonsense, real and raw, just like you like it.
He's corrupt, he's inexperienced, and he lies.
Broadcasting from a broom closet in the Arizona Lotus Studios, it's Beef Vegan Presents.
Yo, welcome back to the show. It's Beef Vegan Presents live on Rock 102.1 KFMA. Streaming worldwide at KFMA.com on this beautiful Thursday, June 27th. Good morning, Rico.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mari.
Good morning.
Good morning, Tucson. We're going to have a great show for you today. Don't forget, 8:10, you're going to be listening for what the song of the day is going to be so you could win that Honda Resort Casino Summer Fun trip this week. It's a 6-day, 5-night trip to Nashville, where you could visit the Jack Daniel's Distillery with also a $750 spending cash. Or, of course, if you do win, then you can just take that $3,000 cash. At 8:10 this morning, I'm going to let you know what song is going to be played and when it's going to be played to qualify you for that trip and so much more. And we also have tickets for Dia de los Luchas at the Rialto Theater. But top story. I mean, I feel like, since I am, part of the Roadrunners organization and the family and have been since the inaugural season, this is something close to my heart. And I'll tell you, at the end of last season, when there was an uncertainty of the future of the franchise and it looked like it was the end of the run. I'm telling you, I mourned like I was at a funeral. I was sad. I didn't even go after at the last game of the season. Of course, it was a playoff game. We lost, so that helped and me feeling sad. But, thinking this could be it. It was a kick to the gut. It was a literal kick to the gut. And hockey fans in this state not only felt that kick to the gut, but goddamn, man, they just keep kicking it like we're getting jumped. The hockey fans are getting jumped and getting kicked over and over into the gut. Yesterday, there's been so many things that continue to be announced and plans changed. Now, last Thursday, actually a week from today, right after the show, I went down to the TCC where they held a press conference with councilman from Rio Nuevo, Bob Hoppin, and the president of the Tucson Roadrunners. They did this full-blown press conference saying, okay, here's the deal. The Roadrunners and the Morella group, who Rio Nuevo put over, said a lot of nice things about both Alex and Alex Jr., and that should be the red flag right there. But you said, hey, they've been nothing but awesome to work with. They wanted to make this happen. And we're excited to announce that the Tucson Roadrunners are here to stay. And they're here to stay for the next few years. And in fact, actually, we're so sure of this, and we want this to be such a great relationship that the city of Tucson and Rio Nuevo is going to pay half the rent for the Tucson Roadrunners, $180,000.
Oh, wow.
The city is going to pay to keep the Roadrunners here. They're paying half the rent. And then the Morellos, all you have to do is pay the other half. And then we're all good. Just stay, baby. Mm-hmm. And then you got what? We extended the lease. You got 3 years here. It's going to be fantastic. Mm-hmm. We're going to have the best time. And then so fast forward just like a couple days later, they were like waiting on the land auction. And when I say a couple days later, I'm sorry, the next day. They were waiting on the land auction. Then it was announced that the land auction it was indefinitely delayed and suspended because it turns out the Morello group never filed the proper permits they needed to file to basically run the operation that they wanted on the land they were trying to acquire to make it an amusement park. And that process takes 8 to 10 months. And then knowing this and knowing they're behind, they didn't even file it on day 2.
Amateur hour.
Yes. This is the thing that's so maddening to everyone involved, including the experts, the pundits, the reporters, the fans. They're like, what are you talking about? How can you be a billionaire businessman with multiple organizations here and not even do your due diligence or even the bare minimum?
Land Management 101.
Dude, yes.
Come on.
Hire a property management attorney or something like that. See, I'm not an expert. The fact that I even know more is pretty frustrating. So anyways, then in true bad form, the Coyotes organization posted on Instagram a scathing 4-page basically public statement blaming the state for delaying things, not taking any blame on themselves, and basically like, screw you guys. The reason why hockey's not going to be in Arizona is because of you, not because of us. And that in so many words. Okay. So then almost immediately after, like less than 24 hours later, it was then announced that the Tucson Roadrunners were going to be playing all 36 of their games at home in Tucson, as opposed to doing 6 games up in Mold Arena. And that was a knee-jerk reaction to say F you to Phoenix and say you don't get any hockey then. But that didn't mean anything. And then the Murillo group laid off a majority of their Coyotes staff and gave them a 1-week severance.
Whoa.
Yes, and let them have their insurance for July. All this is bad form. It continues to get worse, but now it continues to get more complicated.
Like a bitter breakup.
Yes, dude, with like a psycho ex.
Yep.
Yeah. Which is maybe why it's so like relatable. But according to this new report, Alex Morello, the owner of the Tucson Roadrunners and likely soon to be former owner of the Arizona Coyotes brand, because he has to relinquish these kind of rights to the branding now that he's not going to have an arena in Arizona. Plans to relocate the Tucson Roadrunners to Reno, Nevada, when the new arena is completed for the American Hockey League franchise. See, I've known that he's been building an arena in Reno, which he owns a casino there, and it's a 10,000 seat arena. That's a big ass arena. To put it in perspective, the TCC is 6,500.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And our last year's attendance is around 4,500. So, I mean, we weren't even selling it out because it's an AHL team that had an NHL affiliate. Now, if he moves the Roadrunners, and which he's planning on doing in the fall of 2026.
Oh.
Yeah, dude. Which you're like, you son of a bitch. We had a 3-year commitment. That was part of the press conference and everything else, man. It's like this guy keeps changing his mind and publicly stating all of his thoughts. You know what I mean? It's almost like having your publicist as your conscious and it's connected to your Twitter. Right? It's like, shut up.
Unfiltered.
Dude. Yeah, man.
Madness.
Instead of telling me what you're thinking, why don't you, once the plan's in motion, then put out an actual public release and then do this. So, you
would think.
Yeah. Which if this does happen, now there's still plenty of time before the arena is going to get built. And there's no way that an AHL team is going to fill up a 10,000 seat arena anywhere in this country, especially one that doesn't have an NHL affiliate, because it doesn't seem like after this season, the Utah Hockey Club, formerly the Arizona Coyotes, is going to have any connection or relationship with the Tucson Roadrunners.
Oh.
I know you're not a sports person, Mari, but are you picking up what I'm putting down?
I'm picking it up.
So, yeah, these are basically, they're going to be like an island of irrelevancy. There's no purpose, no feeder system. They're basically just going to get the C-list of the C-list talent, no draft picks. I mean, nothing.
Really?
Yeah. Like it's really, it would be a whole big nothing burger if Morello chooses to continue to own this team. Now, I hope that's not even the case. I hope that, he decides that this franchise is irrelevant to him and his pursuit of his business and his happiness and his toys. And he just says, F it, I'm just going to sell it to someone else. And my hope is that they sell it to Utah, and Utah says, you know what, since you guys have been doing so great down here, we'll keep it down here. But even that looks unlikely. But as of right now, we're still just focused on this next season. And what's going to happen the season after? Who knows? Give it another 2 hours, the whole narrative might change. And that's the hello that is Morello. So I tried to put hell, not like hi. You get what I'm saying? I know, dude. Do you have a headache just trying to follow along? Because this is my Google alerts. Every day I'm waking up like, what the hell?
The
dude?
whole show is just going to be updates.
Yeah, man.
Basically.
I feel so bad, too, because when you're inside the organization, and obviously not at the top, I've never met Alex Morello. Okay. I know who he is, and maybe he's been at the arena when I was working. He might have seen me in action, but no relationship whatsoever. But I have had a relationship with plenty of people who worked within the organization, both with the Coyotes and the Roadrunners. Fantastic people, obviously, just people trying to work, be passionate about working in the sports industry. And, that family and everything is something that I cherish. And then to see the way that we're getting treated, I'm like, that's very radio-like. Yeah. So either way, I'll keep you updated if anything changes before the show's over. Okay, because who knows, there could be another stream of consciousness going to the Instagram page at any given time. So all right, All right, we're back here live on the podcast broadcast, and that's funny, Francisco. He's out there chilling in San Diego. Immediately after that little 10-minute show open, which I felt like was okay because I have skin in the game. I'm part of the organization, and it's local news. Immediately
All of the
after,
above. Yep.
had some a-hole call me and be like, "Shut up and play music." I'm like, really? I'm like, that's what you're listening to this morning show for? Is this music? Like, you can get that anywhere, right? I'm still trying to shake that off, to be honest with you. Okay.
Why?
I am. Yeah. I've been taking it out on my cohorts here. So,
Let's go to a sauna right after the show.
yes, please. I need a happy ending. Here we go. Rock 102.1 KFMA. I realize you said sauna, but I still.
I'm like, what's the last sauna you went to, bro?
a
Dang.
sauna with you? And I'm like, oh, someone's going to leave there with a happy ending
Like,
in that
what?
sauna. All right, never mind. Let's get into our top story. You guys know that I've always been kind of like a fan and supportive of Bam Margera.
Yeah.
Like, and not agreeing with all of his behavior because obviously, he went down like a terrible dark path of drug addiction and has done some very questionable things. So no, I don't put him in that category where, he could do no wrong. He's done plenty of wrong. And, it looks like for a little bit this year, I've been thinking positively, like, okay, he found a woman who looks like he loves him, hot lady, kind of turned his life around. He's been sober.
Mm-hmm.
He's kind of thinking his mind's right. Maybe he's on the right path and he won't be so embarrassing to himself anymore.
Right.
Right. But then over the weekend, he started embarrassing himself again. And apparently he still has a major beef with Johnny Knoxville.
Right.
Yeah. Did you hear about it?
I did not. I know he made a rap though, right? About Steve-O.
Yeah, Steve-O, Knoxville, the
no.
Jackass crew. This happened because he got fired off the last Jackass. I think it was Jackass Forever.
Mhm.
And that's because he was out of control. He was on drugs and alcohol. He could not quit. And it was affecting him. And they wanted him to go to rehab so he could be a part of the film. He basically was like, F you guys. And then they're like, well, then you're fired. And since then, he has had this public dispute with the crew of Jackass. He has kind of reconciled with Steve-O a couple times.
Yeah.
It's a back and forth, but apparently he still has a lot of vile hatred towards Johnny Knoxville. So this past year, again, everything has been super positive. He's been skateboarding. He's been going to public signings. He has his wife stretch him out all the time. He's been showing his yoga, stuff like that. But again, he went to a bare knuckle fighting contest, which is something that Rico and I recently became a fan of as well.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's badass. You got to follow it on Instagram if you're not.
Balai.
And Conor McGregor recently bought in on bare knuckle fighting. So he's a co-owner of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, which is exactly how it sounds.
This is on brand.
Yeah. So he went there with Michael Lohan, of all people. So Bam Margera is hanging out with Michael Lohan, which is Lindsay Lohan's dad,
Weird.
who also has a terrible reputation, who also has a history of drug and alcohol abuse, who also has a reputation of being a massive D-bag.
What could go wrong?
Right. So he posts this picture on his Instagram page with the caption, bare knuckle boxing at Hard Rock, Hollywood, Florida, right? Tags everybody. And he's like, I never liked wearing pads. I came here to see the real deal of bloodshed and fighting. So let's see if Knoxville is brave enough to get in the ring with me.
Oh.
So then he went on basically to challenge Johnny Knoxville to a bare knuckle fighting championship. And he said, Conor McGregor loves the idea. Well, of course he does. Right?
What are you going to say? Whatever you say.
Yeah. And then so he would go. And again, he would post something like this. He's doing it. He's taking a picture with one of the announcers of bare knuckle fighting, right? She looks fantastic.
Mhm.
He kind of looks schlubby, to be honest with you, but he lived a hard life, so we can give him a pass. The caption on this: some serious ass fights in this ring, and another interview about me getting into the battleground behind me, right? So he's plugging bare knuckle fighting championship, which is good. So then he goes on to say, so another serious ass invitation. Here it goes. Knock, knock, Knoxville. Who's there? Bam.
Oh.
Yeah. So again,
He's really pushing it.
pushing it. So then another post, a couple posts later. What a group this is too. Because can you recognize the woman that's next to Bam? Not his wife, who's the younger one. The one that's next to Michael Lohan.
No.
She's famous too. And I think they're together. It's Rachel, you could tell.
Uh-huh.
You could tell she banged Tiger Woods and that's what led to the scandal. Yes, dude.
That's the one.
That's the one. That's
Oh,
Rachel
boy.
Yucatel, dude. So this group, and this is
Yeah.
in Florida, of course. So this is
Great little ensemble there.
fantastic lineup. Michael Lohan, Tiger Woods' ex-mistress, Rachel Yucatel, Bam Margera, and then Bam posted and tagged Conor McGregor and said, if Conor McGregor thinks it's a good idea, then it's a good idea. Like Conor McGregor has never had a bad idea.
I know. You got the scum squad here.
Yeah. So, and then again, he's tagging Johnny Knoxville. He's calling him out, and he actually edited this. It was actually a little more rough around the edges, a little more vulgar, and it was embarrassing, to be honest with you. Another situation, you just like got to let it go. Johnny Knoxville at this point too is in his 50s, and he's beat the hell up. I don't see him wanting
That
to
guy
scrap
had his
with anybody.
eyeball pop out. He's broke more bones than Jackie Chan.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Now, Bam, of course, he's a skateboarder, and he hasn't had, a great luck in physically maintaining. That's why he's getting stretched out every morning by his wife and doing yoga and positive things to try to recover. But, this seems like a step backwards. Now, luckily, he did pull some of the videos and pictures down, but there is one that he put together as like a super clip from Rachel Yucatel's podcast. That's a little too hot for radio that I'll play on the podcast broadcast. But the summary of this is like, I'm still rooting for Bam Margera. I still want him to get his mind right and put it together. He's not there yet.
No.
And he's relapsing in a way with, hopefully it's not on drugs or meth. And I don't know if he's even having a relationship with his parents yet or his brother. That's estranged. All that is kind of like up in the air, but hopefully his wife could continue to keep him on course and keep him running his mouth on Instagram, dude.
For real, man.
No.
And like
Believe
how many people are just tired of like forgiving, like he's getting better. Okay, good job, Bam. And then he's back at it. Oh, nobody's surprised. Oh, he's back on the whack. Okay, he's off. It's just,
and that's been me, dude.
Yeah.
Like I grew up and like CKY2K came out at the time. We're all the same age. So we're just like, hey, this is just like our friends. So it's all about it. Then Jackass, of course, they did steal the idea from CKY2K. The first couple scenes of Jackass on MTV were literally just ripped from the cassette tape of CKY2K.
Him and his little gang, man, Brandon DiCamillo.
Yeah,
still love it.
Absolutely.
The best clips ever growing up on
and
that.
Every single person that was involved in that video series has distanced themselves from Bam Margera and do not have a relationship with them. And it's sad. That part is sad. And it's like, that's part of growing up though. Your idols eventually fail you. So, still hopeful that he could turn his life around, continue to stay sober, and drop the grudge between Johnny Knoxville, dude.
Yeah.
It's like, y'all got money. You still got money. Get your money, relax, and then do a little reunion panels. We don't even need to see another movie. We don't need you to do any more stunts.
They need to go on Theo's podcast.
Yeah.
Just them two and just hash it out, cry a little bit.
There'll be a lot of tears, but also apparently some fist flying. So we're going to check out this uncensored clip he posted on the podcast broadcast. Be back with more after music from Pearl Jam on Rock 102.1 KFMA. All right, so let's hear this too. So he posted this. Rachel Yucatel's on with Michael Lohan. And you're like, God damn it.
That's
Dude.
a photoshoppable photo right there.
Yeah. Well, he's still doing his thing. That's Kick Flick Castle Bam. All right. Here's the.
I haven't. Knoxville and Tremaine sit me down. They make me pay $100,000 to go to 90 days of treatment. Now I go in on Adderall and alcohol.
Unfortunately, we had to let him go from the movie.
So now I went to this bare knuckle boxing match because Knoxville is such a. I want to fight him big time. I will drop him like a DC-10. He's going down. So in a little less than a month, it'll be coming a year that I've been sober and clear-minded. I'm in the right frame of mind. And all I know is that Conor McGregor likes my idea and post, and he's the most man. I will train for this. I will take it serious as shit. I got bullied a lot because I was known as the kid who lived across the street from a sewer factory. By the time I was 15, I started filming professional skateboard tricks. Then I got sponsored by Nike, first skater ever ride for Nike. Every time I went to treatment before, it was a sabotage situation. I was on the brink of death. I woke up 8 days on life support with a tube down my throat because I couldn't breathe on my own. She wants me to pay for his life and her life, but not be in their life.
This guy's completely turned his life around. I've been in the drug treatment industry for 16 years, and I see the pros and cons, and I see people that are real and the people that are faking it. This guy is for real.
Yeah, thanks, Michael Lohan.
Thanks, Michael.
He got the Lohan stamp of approval.
Means a lot. I love the epic editing. I do want to see.
I know it is epic.
I do want to see the behind the scenes so bad of like what he means by he got the approval by Conor McGregor. Like that conversation was just like a coked out whiskey night. He's
That's
just like,
what it was.
Yeah.
You want
that sounds great. Yeah.
Yeah, you want to see
like,
this?
oh, you want to see
this,
this?
this is how it went, Terry. Yeah, you could be Conor McGregor because you got an accent, okay? All right, so I'll be Bam. Well, I got an idea for you, Connor.
Hold on, I'm getting my pee-pee socked.
Now,
Oh, what is it now?
I want Box Knox.
Who's that? Who is that you're talking about?
Johnny Knoxville. I want to box him and
The
bare knuckle
jackass
fight
lad.
in your ring.
The jackass lad.
Yes, the jackass.
Oh,
lad.
that sounds cool. All right, do it. All right, I gotta go. Bye.
Okay. Hit
Ah,
it.
shush.
What's your guy's number again? I got to text him. I ran out.
Yeah. The Knoxville.
Accurate, guys.
Uh,
Super accurate.
Yeah.
Something.
Thanks. Yeah, we worked on that.
The jackass lad. Yeah.
Here's something that's even cooler, though. Yesterday, Rico sat down with his Nana Mary. We love Nana Mary here on the show. As you know, she's provided tons of great, moments for the podcast broadcast. Well, an interview. And Mari was like, why did you interview your grandma? It's like, because she's
Well,
a
no, I
95-year-old awesome lady.
I didn't know it was your grandma. I thought it was Nana Mary from Roseanne. I
Yeah,
looked
she
up
blew
Nana
my
Mary
mind
on
right now.
Google. There's a Nana
Sure.
Mary.
That's true. Well, she's not the original Nana Mary because this Nana Mary is actually older than the one on Roseanne. And she's more awesome, I will say. And here's a little inside the mind of Nana Mary, the interview that Rico did with her.
Como what?
All
right, hold on.
How do I look?
You look fantastic. Good evening. Today I am joined by renowned astrophysicist, two-time Tony Award winner, Nobel Peace Prize recipient, and first female Mexican to win a Taekwondo welterweight title in North Korea. You all know her as Nana Mary. Hi, Nana Mary.
Well, hello there.
We're going to ask you a few questions today. On your fan page, we had some family members comment some questions. So are you ready to answer some questions?
Yes.
All right. Well, the first one's kind of a more family-oriented one. Who are your favorite nieces and why?
They are all my favorite. I can scold them, say anything to them, and they're the same person next day.
So you like all your nieces?
I like all my nieces and my nephews.
Come on.
Yes.
You can just say it. I won't put it in the video.
Okay.
I'll edit it out. Go ahead. Who's your favorite?
No, they all are. They all are.
I'll give you
can't
$5.
say
I'll give you.
one.
We'll pitch in $5 each if you're honest.
What?
We'll pitch in $5 each if you're honest. Everybody watching will pitch in $5 if you tell the truth.
Yes, I'm telling the truth.
All right. You don't want money?
No. I have plenty.
Wow. All right. I don't like that answer, but we'll keep moving on. If you could have a superpower, what would it be and why?
A superpower.
Like flying, going invisible, holding your breath forever.
No, I already flew.
You already flew? Well, you did go skydiving, yeah.
Yeah.
Would you like to have laser eyes?
Maybe I'd like to get in a bull ring.
A bull ring?
Yes.
So your superpower would be being a matador.
Yes.
You'd like to be a bullfighter
That's right.
as a superpower.
I've always liked bulls.
You want to fight a bull. You want to grab the bull by the horns.
That's right.
Damn, she's a tough one. All right, here's a very deep one. Who was your first love?
My husband.
He was your first?
Well, yes. Being my first, yes.
You didn't love anybody before that? What about the kid that made you a macaroni necklace?
Yeah, I did love him.
You didn't love him?
No,
He made you a macaroni necklace.
he loved me.
What'd you tell him? You're like, I'm sorry, I like you, but I don't like you.
No, I didn't fall in love till I was pretty old.
Pretty
Not
old.
Too old, about 18.
That's the first time you fell in love?
Yes.
What was the first thing? What did he say to you to make you fall in love?
Mhm. What did he say? He just said he wanted to take me out,
That's all it took?
and go dancing.
Yeah.
He loved to dance. And I love to dance. So he was
So-
a very good dancer. And
It was love at first dance?
that's right.
Wow. What was your favorite dance move?
I could dance anything.
You can dance anything?
Yes, jitterbug, slow.
Jitterbug, is that a new one? I think I saw that on TikTok.
No, that's an old one.
It is? Can you show us the jitterbug real quick?
No,
No?
I'm too old now.
Too old to do the jitterbug, huh? What about the stanky leg?
The what?
The stanky leg.
What is that?
That's an old one too.
No,
I'll show you later.
no, I like waltz,
The waltz.
corridos.
Ooh. Next question. What advice would you give to Ben and Jen? Ben Affleck and his Latina big booty wife.
Behave, Jennifer.
Her behave.
Both of them have to behave.
Because he's a weirdo from the East Coast and she's a feisty dancer.
Yes.
So you just tell her to behave?
But I like them both, you know. I think that's life. You get mad and make up and everything.
So she's done that a lot. She's made up a lot of times, I think.
Yes.
But that's good of her?
That's good.
Okay. So just tell her to behave and he has to be careful, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Or he can lose her.
Or he can lose her?
Yes.
Ooh. What's your favorite thing to do? What's your favorite hobby?
Hobby. Cooking, baking. Real.
Training dogs?
No.
No?
Train dogs.
Gardening?
Gardening is one of them.
Yeah. What about drawing tattoos?
No, I hate tattoos.
Why do you hate tattoos?
I don't know. I just don't like them. I never did.
I thought you said the other day that you saw a girl that had nice ones.
No. There's nobody's tattoo is nice.
What if I got a neck tattoo of you?
No.
No?
I rip it off.
You rip it off? Ugh. The cheese grater. All right, next question. If you could do anything differently in the past, what would you do? Or what would you like to learn if you were younger?
To learn.
Or what would you change?
To drive better.
You want to drive better?
To have driven the car better.
Yeah?
I didn't drive too long.
Did you have a dream car?
Not really. Any car.
You just wanted to be a better driver? Well, it's not too late. If you want to go, we can take you.
No, not now. My eyesight is bad.
I won't tell you where to go.
I'm too slow.
I think you'd be a good race car driver.
No, I wouldn't do it. No.
Would you rather have money or love?
I'd rather have love.
Yeah? Why?
Because money you can get at any time. You can get a job or do something.
And love is forever, right?
That's right.
Yeah. Good answer.
My husband was very good to me.
Mm-hmm.
And my mother didn't care for him or didn't want me to go out or anything. So it was kind of hard for me.
But in the end, love prevailed, right?
That's right.
Because you did the jitterbug.
He thought we weren't going to get married. And eventually I said, maybe my mother will change her mind, which she didn't. But I told her I'm going to get married, you know.
You did it anyway.
Yes.
Look at you and see what happens. Yeah.
And no, she was unhappy. And she said, well, you do what you want. And I said, I took the chance.
See?
And afterwards, he loved her. She loved him.
Mm-hmm.
And he loved her. He was very polite with my mother.
Good. As he should be.
Yes.
Yeah. He had manners.
And he was always very polite, you know.
Uh-huh.
It was hard, but I mean, in the long run, I knew it would work.
Well, look at you. See, it worked out very well.
Very well.
You had 25 kids together?
No way.
How many?
I only have 4.
Only 4?
2 boys and 2 girls.
Oh. And which one's your favorite?
Your mother is.
My mom is? Oh, okay, I'll tell her. Good. She'll love to hear that.
I love them all.
All of them?
Yeah, all of them.
Same with the nieces? You just love everybody equally, right?
That's right.
A little sketchy.
I don't hate people.
I didn't say hate them, but there are some preferences.
No.
Like I like Reese's peanut butter cups more than Snickers.
Like who?
Reese's peanut butter cups more than Snickers. No.
I like those.
All right, here's another question. Can you say
What was the one nice thing about real quick?
Donald Trump.
Oh yeah. Oh, hold on. We gotta share that. Yeah. No. I gotta share that real quick. So one nice thing about Donald Trump. Let's see what Nana Mary says.
Oh, please don't. No.
just one nice thing?
I have nothing nice.
You said he didn't hate anybody.
No.
Just one, like he has nice arms.
No. He's now he's talking about Biden. He said they should examine him for drinking.
He thinks he's a
and
drunk.
Drugs,
Whoa.
And I said to myself, just be quiet. You got more on your hands than anybody.
Yeah, that's right.
Throwing shade.
That's right.
Oh, we can be friends.
Yes, she doesn't stop there, but yeah, she is right about this debate. That's what she's referring to because the presidential debate is tonight. Of course, the Trump side of the debate is saying, "Hey, Biden's going to be all jacked up on drugs."
The secret of the ooze.
Yeah,
the Ninja Turtles 2 serum.
Yeah, so jacked up, and so that's the pre I guess alibi or whatever going into the debate. Now the presidential debates, they're gonna, it's gonna be a shit show. We know that.
Can't wait.
Yeah, but I know a way that it's gonna be more entertaining if they could make this happen in reality. Now with AI, there's filters for everything, right?
Mhm.
You could do live filters all the time. What if instead of them just doing the straight up debate between two like senior citizens, they reverse age them and turn them into adorable babies?
Oh.
Would you watch that?
I would.
I'll do that filter live.
Yeah, well, I actually have an example of what that would be like. Check this out.
He wants to shut down this country, and I want to keep it open. And we did a great job by shut it down. Wait a minute, Joe. Let me shut you down for a second, Joe. Just for 1 second. I don't wear masks like him. Every time you see him, he's got a mask. He could be speaking 200 feet away from it. He shows up with the biggest mask I've ever seen. You could never have done the job that we did. You don't have it in your blood. You could have never done that job. I know how to do the job. I know how to get the job. Well, you didn't. It's on the ballot in the court. I don't think so. In the court. Well, there's nothing happening there. Donald,
Now, real quick, I'm going to play a little bit more on the air, but which baby do you find more adorable in this situation?
Biden.
Yeah, the
He's so
Biden,
cute.
the Biden baby has, wide eyes, but, obviously the Trump baby has that hair,
too orange.
which is more adorable on a baby than a grown man, apparently. So let's see. We're going to continue this. Check this out. Rock 102.1 KFMA. As you should know, if you're watching the podcast broadcast, youtube.com/BFegan, we're checking out this hypothetical video here because tonight is a presidential debate where it's Trump, Biden 2. They're going to go head to head and they're going to be jacked up on amphetamines and alcohol and whatever, anything that can make them sharp and clear.
HGH.
Yeah, what's the best drug to use to talk over your opponent? I don't know. We're going to find out tonight. But of course, who wants to watch two geriatrics go at it and argue with each other? What if they were adorable babies? Well, somebody asked this hypothetical, made it a reality, and put this video together of last year's debate, but basically de-aged Biden and Trump into these babies while they were going back and forth in the debate, and is honestly one of the best things I've seen on the internet. I'm going to play a little bit of this audio. Check this out.
You don't know her now. Make sure you, in fact, let people know you're a senator. I'm not going to answer the question because the question is radical left. Will you shut up, man? Who is on your list, Joe? This is on your list, gentlemen. Not by much. I beat him a whole hell of a lot. I'm here standing facing you, buddy. Hunters would have left 2 days early. You would have lost every prize. All he knows how to do it for Tuesday. You got very lucky. Here's the deal. I got very lucky. I'm going to get very lucky tonight as well. Sure. President, can you let him finish, sir? He doesn't know how to do that. Yes. You picked be surprised. The wrong guy, the wrong night at the wrong time. Listen, you give him better health care at a much lower price because I know he doesn't know how. He doesn't know how to do that. Fixed it. He has never offered a plan to an extent. He has never done a single thing. But probably does. I realize that you're both speaking.
What's funny is the Trump baby actually just still looks like Trump. They barely de-aged him.
Super tan baby.
But Biden is unrecognizable in this clip. So yeah, it's adorable.
The music.
Yeah. Now, speaking of things that involve the country, Boeing has been obviously in the headlines for all the wrong reasons this entire year. In fact, even their Boeing spaceship is, I think, still currently orbiting the planet as they figure out ways to make sure that it's fixed and safe enough for re-entry. So there's two astronauts on the Boeing space station that cannot come back to the planet until they figure out what is wrong, and they have 100% certainty that they're going to be safe on the way in.
Yeah.
So they're staying there for a while.
Well, yeah.
Good Lord.
Because Boeing's top engineers that they haven't fired are on this. Now, the top engineers that they did fire might have been whistleblowers. And I say this because this is a big deal. The CEO of Boeing is in a hot seat over the company's recent safety failures. And, David Calhoun is taking pointed questions from the Senate committee that he did this week. He apologized for the failures. And during this kind of back and forth, he admitted that Boeing does take action against whistleblowers, does punish those who reveal and whistleblow, which is a big deal that it slipped out during this congressional hearing. And they're like, wait a second, no, this is unconstitutional, it's illegal, and it's immoral. And not only have you guys been cutting corners, but anybody within your company who's concerned about the safety of the general public who spoke up about this, you fired them because they did the right thing. And he's still CEO of Boeing.
Yep.
Right? The Boeing stuff doesn't stop, though. Look at me with the serious news. Another Boeing whistleblower stepped forward and came forward alleging safety issues at Boeing. His name is Richard Cuevas, and he is a mechanic at Strom and a contractor at Spirit Aerosystems. Basically, he raised concerns in October and was fired a few months later. And Boeing said it investigated his claims and determined it wasn't a safety concern. And, and obviously, Richard's attorney says that the unauthorized change caused fasteners to not fit properly into those holes, seriously undermining the integrity of the aircraft, which is a big deal. Of course, this guy got fired as soon as he raised those concerns. Like, hey, guys, there's an issue here. There's a little problem. And we should address because our planes will fall out of the sky. And they're like, what'd you say? What'd you say?
You're fired.
Yeah. So that's a double shot of Boeing. Let's get back to adorable babies debating on the podcast broadcast. More coming up after music from Ozzy. It's Rock 102.1 KFMA. Yeah, we need a baby palate cleanser. Baby palate cleanser. I mean, this honestly, I'm excited. Now you're excited about the debate, right?
And it's still let the president. Go ahead, sir. Many of your Democrat governors said President Trump did a phenomenal job. We worked with the governor. Oh, really? Go take a look. The governors said I did a phenomenal job. Most of them said that. No matter what you say to them, they give you bad press on it. It's just fake news. They give you good press. They give me bad press because that's the way it is, unfortunately. But let me just say something. I don't care. I've gotten used to it. He gets a lot smarter, a lot quicker. Mr. President, did you use the word smart? So you said you went to Delaware State, but you forgot the name of your college. You didn't go to Delaware State. You graduated either the lowest or almost the lowest in your class. Don't ever use the word smart with me. Don't ever use that word. Oh, give me a break. Because you know what? There's nothing smart about you, Joe. 47 years you've done nothing. Let's have this debate.
It's just getting heated. I love it when toddlers fight. In fact, actually, Mari, I need your sons to come in next time, and then we're just going to push them into each other until one gets mad and starts swinging.
Oh, it's every day, all day. So it'll happen.
Have you ever done? I know, I'm sure. And that's good because they're going to be tough boys.
Have you ever fought a baby?
No. No, remember when we were like in elementary school? Have you ever instigated a fight by pushing one kid into another kid?
No, thankfully.
Oh, so you weren't a dick
I
like that?
I wasn't a scumbag kid.
What kind of kid were you, Rico?
Not a scumbag.
No, but like, were you like a sweet little kid? Were you shy? Like
I was pretty shy.
Nerdy?
I could see it.
Introverted a little bit, but then like class clown when it came out.
Okay. Class clown.
But yeah, the whole school fight thing, it's like, yeah, it was such a scene when those things broke out.
It was the best.
The backpacks are circling around.
Yeah.
It was like before smartphones though. So it was like,
so it wasn't
in the
filmed.
moment.
It wasn't filmed. Okay, so did you get any fights in school at all during your tenure?
No, I mean, I got punched in the face.
Okay, so you lost a fight, got bullied?
Literally, it's like that's the one thing I think I need deviated septum surgery for. It's because when I was in like third grade, I don't know if I was like making fun of a kid's name because his name was like Grody or Grady or something like that. Or I talked smack about this kid's name. Yeah. And then it was like on the volleyball court or something outside our basketball court. And he like started marching up towards me. I'm like, oh shit.
Right.
Pow, right there in the face. And I was like, oh, blacked out. I remember waking up. There's like blood gushing out. And the kid like ran for the hills.
Oh yeah.
So at least I had the intimidation afterwards. Like I'd come back. But
he got you good.
He got me good, man.
Yeah. I had a kind of fearlessness when it came to pain and self-destruction. Not that I wasn't afraid of pain. I almost welcomed, getting my ass kicked or like facing this kind of like, false bravado. I've had false bravado. I remember this one time I was mad at this kid, Mike Haynes. Mike Haynes was a giant of a man. And he went to prison for a little bit, then dated my sister after he got out of prison. And then we're kind of buddies now. And he actually turned his life around. He's probably doing better than me financially, but which is a trip. But the guy was a fucking maniac. And then in 7th grade, he was like, I was going to be like 7'2". He's like a 6-footer, 7th grade. Yeah, he's a big kid. And there was some kind of incident where we had this altercation in our language arts class. And for whatever reason, I had the instinct to run up to Mike, who's towering over me, big ass, burly bully, and push him over a desk. I was like, fuck you, blah, get him over a desk, right? So he tumbles over the desk, immediately gets up, and bum rushes to beat my ass. And to where he like clocks me in the temple, and then I kind of like ball up, and then it gets broken up and stuff like that. That was one of those situations, yeah, junior high. There's another situation where my false bravado actually helped out in a situation. Because, you know, when you're like getting confronted with fights, like there's people who seem like they're fearless in getting in a fight. Like they want to get into a fight. Now, I never was that guy. It's not like I was a great fighter, but I would put on the front if someone was trying to step to me. Like, I'm ready to go. You want to fight? Let's fight. Yeah. Even though in the back of my mind, I'm like, please don't fight. Please don't fight. Please don't fight. So there's a kid, Mikey Waxman. And see, I remember all these names.
Waxman.
Oh, wow.
Fucking Mikey Waxman. So I get transferred from 7th grade to 8th grade. That's a long story for another time. I go to a class. There's no assigned seats. So I go and I sit down in my seat. And then Mikey Waxman comes in. Like, he's some kind of big badass. Now, I've been going to the same school. I actually know a lot of these same kids, but he didn't know who I was. So he thought I was like the new kid.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, and he comes up and he's like, you're in my seat. And I'm like, oh
no.
Yeah, there's no assigned seats here, man. Yeah. You know? And it's like my first day of 8th grade, right? And he's like, no, that's my seat. Get up. And I'm like, no. You know, yeah, right off the bat, he's like a dick. So now I got to stay on my ground.
Yep.
I'm like, he just pissed me off and go fuck yourself.
Yep.
Right? I'm just trying to sit down. I don't even want to be here. Right? It's not like I'm Mr. I love school right now.
As soon as you cower, he has you. You can't do that.
Right. So he kind of like pouts, talks a little shit, goes sits down in another seat after the class. He steps to me, you know, and he's like, oh, you fucking take my seat. You want to fucking go, you little bitch. He's like talking shit. So I got my backpack on. So I just go to take my backpack off. And everyone's like, oh, he's taking the backpack off. Because I'm like, now it looks like on the surface that I'm taking my backpack off because I'm about to fucking beat the shit out of this kid. But really, I'm smart enough to be like, hey, if I'm about to get my ass kicked, I don't want to get choked out by my own backpack. This thing's heavy.
This Game Boy is expensive.
Yeah. So I take that off. And then, so here's the long story short, you know, he starts going, oh, you want to fight? You want to fight? Meet me after school. So I'm like, oh, okay. You're afraid. You're afraid to get in trouble because I live at ISS, right? I got my seat is there. That's where my assigned seat is.
I literally have a seat.
Yeah. So I'm not afraid to go get in trouble for a little scrap. So let's go. And he wanted to fight after school. So wait all day. And I'm like, again, back my mind, I'm like, I don't want to do this. I'm not tough. Like, he could kick my ass. I'm going to get beat up in front of a bunch of people, whatever. But then I go, right? Oh. Yeah. So still fearless, knowing like in a situation like, hey, I can get my ass kicked in this situation and I could easily get on the bus and go home. But instead, I'm going to miss the bus and I'm going to go and show up to the designated time because I'm no bitch. My balls haven't even
dropped. It would like haunt you if you didn't show up. You know, like, oh, you too pussy to fight. Like,
so,
let's just get this over with.
Right. So I show up, be like, let's get this over with. I look around. Mikey Waxman isn't there.
What?
Yeah, that bitch didn't show up, dude. Yeah, and then so he's like tried to reschedule, and I'm like, reschedule? I had to walk home, dude. I missed my bus to beat your ass, right?
Email like, hey, could we do next Tuesday?
Yeah. So, and
that's funny. So what happened after that? You saw him again?
He ended up, you know, not causing any problems after that. Yeah, he stopped running his mouth, and I sat in that seat for the rest of the.
He knows he showed up though. People told him like, "Oh, he was there, you weren't."
Yeah, but I ended up getting demoted back to 7th grade. So I'm sure when I got demoted back to 7th grade, he took that seat again.
Bastard.
So this was the year, because I spent a year and a half in 7th grade and a year and a half in 8th grade. You ever heard about this story?
No.
Okay, this is very odd. Okay, so 7th grade year, I'm at Desert Sky. I fuck around, you know, I'm getting in trouble. I'm not doing my work. So the next year, they're like, we got to hold him back. He didn't do anything. So like, okay. So they held me back. I start off 7th grade. In the first quarter, I'm still fucking around. And they're like, well, he should be doing better now. I mean, he's doing the same grade twice. Let's test him. And they tested me, and I took the test, and I took it seriously. And they're like, oh, he actually scored really well on the test. He's actually gifted, and he's just really bored. So they advanced me from 7th grade to 8th grade, but with gifted classes. I ended up going to the gifted. So 8th grade advanced. So they're like, hey, he's not doing his work because he's bored. So let's put him in the class with all the smart kids. So they pushed me up to 8th grade for 2nd and 3rd quarter. Now, during this time, I'm still fucking off, right? Because I'm just like, whatever. I'm just being lazy and just having fun. And so they test me again. And they're like, oh, he has a learning disability. So then in the 4th quarter of that year, they demoted me from advanced 8th grade to 7th grade special ed. So I went
like super smart guy.
Yes, I went from regular 7th grade to advanced 8th grade to special ed 7th grade, all in the same calendar
drop
year,
off,
dude.
man.
Whoa.
Jeez.
And I'm telling you, dude, the first day of that special ed class was literally like learn your colors. And I'm like, I was just doing geometry and algebra,
like advanced trigonometry, astrophysics.
Yeah, dude. Learning about geopolitics.
I like how they took a good shot on you though. Like this guy could be the next, like super genius. Like Nash, John Nash or something. And you're like, oh no, he's just a dummy.
Yeah.
Like
He should have been wearing a helmet this whole time.
He's like super smart, like too smart. I'm like, oh, never mind.
Yeah.
And then send him back.
So then the next year, then I went to 8th grade as well. And so then it was a year and a half, right down the middle, because I did 2 quarters in 7th grade, 2 quarters in 8th grade. So I spent a year and a half in 7th grade, year and a half 8th grade, 3 years total in junior high.
Were you the oldest in your class then?
Eventually, well, at one point, and then at one point I wasn't, it just depends on the day, I guess. And then, I went into, I went into high school kind of a year advanced or whatever.
Yeah.
When I was in 8th grade, I transferred schools too. So it was a different perspective because now I'm like, they think I'm a big kid, right? Like I got a growth spurt, like I'm going to be the Mike Haynes, but I'm really just a year ahead of everybody, right? And so everybody caught up to my height pretty quickly come freshman, sophomore year. Yeah. But
I got in a fight once.
Oh, just once?
In middle school, yes.
Okay, yeah. So what happened?
It was over a bag of hot Cheetos.
As usual, yeah, absolutely.
And Tiffany slapped me.
Yeah, her name was Tiffany.
And I slapped her back.
Did you take her Cheetos?
I don't recall specific details.
Mm-hmm.
I just know it was over a bag of hot Cheetos.
Yeah.
And there was 1 slap each. And that was it.
And they got broken up?
I think we actually settled it with our slaps.
You had that red hot blackout rage?
You should.
Damn.
So you slapped her first. And
I don't know. No, I think she slapped me first, and then I slapped in, retribution, or revenge.
Yeah.
Did you have the Cheeto fingers when you slapped her?
You know what? And I don't know if she stole my Cheetos and then she slapped me over them and then I slapped her back. I don't know. I just know they're.
I just know I woke up and it's covered in blood in the middle of the highway.
Cheeto does.
I don't know what happened. Like, damn, Mari, what the hell?
Right.
That
Like a
was
super
my
villain.
one girl fight my whole life.
Oh, well, it sounds like you kind of won, or at least you got shot back. So I think that's good.
Yeah, I think it was a pretty fair fight.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's 1-1. I mean, it went to the judges' scorecard, and they're like, well, they both got 1 slap in. Who ate the Cheetos? Who got the Cheetos at the end of it? That's how we know who won.
Who got left with the bag?
Yeah. Who got left with the bag?
What phase were you in?
This was 7th grade.
I know, what phase? Like emo?
Oh, no, this is pre-emo. This
Pre-emo?
is like
Primo.
Just kind of like awkward.
Braces?
Trying to get like the really big bangs.
Oh, okay.
The hoops,
Skirting on like the Saved by the Bell sort of aesthetic.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Emo
Nice.
came after.
All right.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I mean, I knew that you were kind of street. I always look at you as kind of like secretly one of my most gangster friends.
Just a little bit.
You want to see something trippy?
I do.
Okay, so you know how like the Simpsons always can tell like the future, right? They predict the future.
Oh, please
all the
tell
time.
me you're gonna pull up the ancient.
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
So
so crazy.
Yeah, I guess we'll talk about it on the air here about 30 seconds. And I'm glad that you've seen this because this has gone viral and it's also kind of explains the unexplained. And the unexplained is how do the Simpsons always like somehow know what's going to happen, right? And I think the answer might not be in the future, but in the past. Thank you. Hey, you like that setup? That's how you do that. Fucking podcasting. All right. Which I'm gonna start doing Blue Chew endorsements here soon. And I'll explain more on that here in a second. Rock 102.1 KFMA. Welcome back to Beef Vegan Presents. As we are live here on the podcast broadcast, I was just referring to the Simpsons mystery. Everybody knows by now that the Simpsons has had a very, what's the best way to describe it?
Nostradamus-like prediction.
Yeah, and it's undeniable. They've been actually been able to almost accurately describe what's going to happen in the future, and the Simpsons predict it. And it's kind of like a fun joke by this point, right? Hey, the Simpsons predicted it again.
Yeah.
This is what's going to happen because the Simpsons did it. So a lot of people ask, like, how do they have this foresight to know what's going to happen in the future? The way I was setting this up on the stream is maybe the answer to that question, the enigma of their psychic ability, is not in the future, but that of the past. And the reason why I say that is because here's a picture that's going viral of an upper lid coffin found in a newly discovered Egyptian cemetery dated 20th dynasty BC. So 2,000 years before Christ.
Mm-hmm.
And the description and the photograph on the tomb eerily looks like Marge Simpson. Right down to the blue hair and the green dress. Yeah.
Oh my God, it does.
Right.
That's Marge.
That is Marge.
Some comments are saying, like, that's a stretch. Like, no, it's not. It's got the blue tall hair, the green dress.
Nearly identical.
Yes. Yeah. So this drawing, says a lot of people say it looks a lot like the Simpsons character, and with all the even characters around it. So it looks like a bunch of little characters worshiping Marge Simpson. And was Marge Simpson originally in that tomb? And is the answer to the Simpsons mystery of how they're able to predict the future is because they come 20,000 years prior in the past, and there is a legacy of Marge Simpson-like human beings that have reoccurred on this planet through generations and time.
Who just groaned all throughout history.
That's just that's her too. So yeah. That's an eerie coincidence. So
really,
I don't know. I don't have the answer for you, but I will say, if you're looking for the answer to how the Simpsons can continue to predict the future, definitely look into the past, and maybe you'll find your answer there. We got your beef tip coming up after these words. Keep it right here. Plus, we got music on the way from Weezer. It's Rock 102.1. Yeah, it's
just
crazy.
Imagine they find like a hieroglyph somewhere of some like bald old guy choking his young son.
Oh my
God.
What? Yeah, wouldn't that be amazing? Here's something else that's a trip too. I gotta pull this up. So yeah, one of my favorite films is Forrest Gump, right?
Why?
Why not? Do you not love Forrest Gump?
That's uncalled for as a favorite. Why would you pick Forrest Gump?
Yeah. Do you hate Forrest Gump?
No, I think it's a solid movie, but it's definitely not in my favorite category.
Well, it was a coming of age film for me. I guess I was like 13 when it came out. I just remember it. It was a good story. I didn't, I know that there's hate towards Forrest Gump, but it was also a massively successful film for decades.
Introduced us to female toxicity.
Yes.
As young kids.
Yes. So
good movie.
It was Tom Hanks and Robin White. Right. And Robert Zemeckis directed it. I'm bringing it up because they all reunited yet again. So yeah, there's going to be a new movie that stars Tom Hanks and Robin Wright. And it's called Here. And it also is directed by Robert Zemeckis, which is great because I thought he passed away. Now, that's not the most interesting part about it. Here takes place in a single room over a period of 100 years. And the camera doesn't move at all. It's like literally watching 100 years through a ring cam, which doesn't sound like it's going to be wildly entertaining. But if anyone could pull it off, I think it's this trio, Robert Zemeckis in particular. Now, Hanks and Wright play the central couple in the narrative, and they get de-aged for the earlier parts in the movie. And I have some pictures. You want to see them?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Here comes the creepy factor.
There's Tom Hanks and Robin de-aged. There's more. That's them in the 80s.
Wow.
Yeah.
A little fuzzy.
Yeah, now this is not what Robin Wright looks like now. She's definitely aging gracefully, but she hasn't done a bunch of youthful tricks to pull her skin back. In fact, actually, you should check out her daughter, Smoking Hot. There we go. This is all just imagine the premise is almost like if you were a ghost trapped in a wall, and for 100 years you watch a family,
Oy.
Yeah.
Feels like it'd be a badass music video concept.
I'm sure
movie.
it has been. Look at they even get married in this room. Maybe this is purgatory and they're all stuck in this room. I guess it is like raining outside. So maybe they had to do an impromptu wedding. Who knows? This is all part of a first look. And again, this is them de-aged. And this is kind of big news. And I know Herb Stratford's not here because he's out on vacation in Amsterdam. But, this is some movie news. So here is, it looks like it's shot and it should be out sometime this year. Yeah. So, and you're still not a fan of...
No, I'm a fan. No, I think it's a great movie. It's a solid movie. Tom Hanks is a solid actor. Love Tom Hanks. As like an all-time favorite movie.
What would it be?
Well, for me, it's Con Air.
Okay.
Rightfully so.
So you want to say, and streamers, I need your help on this. What's a better cinematic?
Both very similar plot lines.
Classic. Yeah. Forrest Gump or Con Air? Which one do you think?
Put that up on Facebook.
Yeah. I know which one won more Oscars and made more money.
Oscars.
Made more money and has more placements and is more, I don't know, like part of the zeitgeist of pop culture. I know which one.
Entertainment value.
Up
there with Con Air. Not so much Forrest Gump.
Up there.
Con Air all day.
Okay. That's interesting.
Put the bunny back.
It is a hot take.
Look at.
See? Con Air fanatics.
Con Air all day. Yep.
I work out to the guitar riff that they play for Nicolas Cage in that movie.
Oh, it is it.
He's doing slow motion running. People are firing bullets at him. He has this giant mullet tank top going on. I'm going to get you what you need. The best. So American.
The best.
It's great. My adrenaline just shoots up.
Well, thank you, Manny. I'm glad you're Team Forrest Gump. Seems like we lost this battle. There we go, Taco. Thank you.
The one thing I did love about Forrest Gump was watching it as a kid versus an adult because he didn't get all the references back then about his investment in Apple, about the JFK, the Watergate scandal, and all that stuff. It's so funny. As a kid, you're like, oh, that's goofy.
Yeah, and then you realize that he was the smartest one of all. Nobody saw that coming. You're stupid, silly. Like, I'm a billionaire.
There's this comedian that put a sketch out about a guy. I'll send you the link later, but he's like, imagine being a guy having the worst day of your life sitting next to Forrest Gump and he's just flexing on you all day. Let me tell you about what I did. He's like, dude, I don't care. My wife just divorced me.
Yeah.
I'm losing the kids. He's like, I like shrimp. Like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Like, why are you telling me this?
It's like in this whole story where you accomplish a lot of things, you only accomplish pussy once. So, and then she got AIDS. So I still win.
It's yours, Forrest.
Here's a little bit more from Nana Mary before we wrap things up with the beef tip. Check it out.
I don't like it.
That's a fair assessment, but you don't hate them.
I should have worn that T-shirt you made me.
Which one? That said I love Trump or MAGA?
Trump.
You want to wear a MAGA hat?
No.
Okay. If you could be any animal, what would it be and why?
I think an owl.
An owl? Because they're wise?
And then they talk a lot.
They just turn their heads?
That's right. No, actually, what I like are birds.
Well, the owl's a bird.
And I used to have two in a cage, and I was bringing them out to the porch to get sunlight. And I tripped, and they flew away. The cage fell, and they both flew away.
You dropped the cage, and the birds escaped?
Yeah.
You set them free.
And then I ran over and told my husband, go get him for me. He said, I can't fly. But I love birds.
So you'd be an owl. Nice. Good answer. If you had a chance to see OJ before he died, what would you have told him?
You didn't do it.
You would just hold his hand and say you're innocent? What if he told you, Mary, I did it? He admits it to you.
I don't think he did. A lot of people were very jealous of him and disliked him.
They slandered his name. They were jealous of how fast he was.
But I always said he didn't do it.
I know you did. You've been consistent about that for a long time.
And thank you for the picture you did about us.
You and OJ together? Yeah.
Sitting here out in the outside, sitting down and talking to him.
That's right. It was a forbidden love. You and him.
Yeah.
That is the best part of the video. There's so many good parts of this video. So
loves
on
OJ.
Rico.
Yeah, why?
It's so crazy.
Always loved him.
She hates Trump, loves OJ.
Loves OJ.
That's amazing.
It's crazy.
All right, we're almost out of time, and it's fantastic. And don't forget, you want to check out the podcast broadcast on demand. There you're going to see clips of Nana Mary and her love for OJ Simpson. That's at Beef Vegan or at Unreal Rico to see the full 15-minute interview. All right, here's your beef tip before we get out of here. As you know, it's hot as hell this summertime, and it's always hot when it comes to your car. But here's how to cool down a car quickly. You want to start driving with the air conditioning on and all your windows down. And once cold air starts flowing, roll up your front windows, but keep the back ones open for another 10 to 20 seconds. And that way you'll get all the hot air out, and you'll be able to replace it with cool air quicker. And set the AC to lowest temp and adjust the fan until you're comfortable. That's it.
Science. Nice.
Yes. There you go. We're out of time. Thank you for listening. Drive safe, ride safe, and rock local. Later.
Your grief. But if you've been mean or kind of bad, I will knock out all your teeth.
Love the comments. Thank you.
Gotta go to lunch.